Hello there, Gogglefrogs, and how are you this morning? Hopefully you've had a lovely week and you're here with me this morning on my own with you. So Robert's at work, poor thing, but I know that he'll be making sure that lots and lots of people are fed and beveraged in Milton Keynes. So anyway, I'm here with you for the next hour. And I'm Angela, if you haven't met me before, but I think you will have met me before. Hello to everyone on replay. And hello to everyone on YouTube. And for the next hour, I'm going to be talking about some knitting things. I'm sure I'll talk about other things as well, but I've got a few little patterns to share with you here. So I'll see what I'm inspired by, which I pick up and share during our show. And it's lovely to spend the next hour with you. So hopefully you know the rules. I hope you've got a nice cup of something. So I've got my cordial and I've got my cup of tea as well. So I've got my two bits there. And I've actually got a little gift to show you in a little bit as well. So got a chat box. If you are watching us live, you can add to the chat box and get to know everybody. If you're not watching us live, I will be reading out what's in the chat box. So you know what everybody's been saying. So anyway, here we go. And before we go any further, I'm just going to have a sip of tea before it goes really, really cold. So hopefully you've got something nice to drink and you've got some knitting or crochet. So here it is. The cowl's still there. At some point, I will have a few hours just to finish it off. And then I can get on to the next one. So anyway, good morning. So I'll say some good mornings. And you know what Sassy is like. We get more people joining us during the show. So good morning, Safi. How are you? Hopefully you're really good up there in Wakey, or near Wakey, Wakefield. Hello, Judy. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. And hello, Janice. I was actually in London last night. I'll talk about that as well. Remind me. I'll tell you what I was doing last night in London as well. And good morning, Grace. How are you? Lovely to see you again. And good morning, Georgie. How are you doing? And good morning, Brigitte. Lovely to see you too. Yes. So I'll tell you now. I went to yesterday. Had a nice little tripette, and I booked myself a ticket for something. And then the last minute, I thought, oh, I'll take my mum because we're going to jump on the train, go into London. And it was at the British Library last night, 7 to 8:30. Anyway, in the end, I thought I'll take my mum with me. So I thought, are there any tickets left? Yes, there was. Let me turn my phone down. If not, I'll be buzzing the whole way through. And I actually went to see a food talk there. Now, there is a restaurant, there's a chef, well, two chefs, power couple. Itamar Cyrilovich and his wife, Sarit, and they have this beautiful deli that I absolutely love. And it's in just around the corner from Bloomsbury in Fitzrovia. Anyway, the restaurant that was there has closed and they're opening another one in Bloomsbury, which is another area of London that I love. And they also have another restaurant called Honey and Smoke, but they have this little deli. And you can go in there and you can buy hummus. You can buy the most amazing gin, this Marrakesh gin. It's out of this world. And amazing like spices, and it's just lovely. And then you can sit outside on a little table, watch the world go by. There's no actual traffic on that part of the street. And you can just have a cardamom coffee, and I always have a little almond biscuit, but they always have some gluten-free stuff, and we just love it. It is so chilled. And I discovered this place, must be about 4 years ago. I actually went to an event round the corner and I was looking for somewhere for lunch and sort of walked past, do you have anything gluten-free? And all of these amazing Mediterranean, sort of Israeli salads were out there. Oh my God, they were absolutely amazing. And that sort of started my love of Honey & Co. And since then I've bought all of their books, and then we went into lockdown, didn't we? Anyway, last night, me and my mum tootle off, because there's a food talk, and Itamar is talking to no other than Angela Hartnett. So we got to the British Library, parked, because I've got a blue badge with my mum, So we parked no more than 400 metres away over the road, which was amazing. Walked into the library, had a couple of drinks. I had a couple of ginger beers. My mum had a couple of gin and tonics. Then we went into the food talk, and it's just like, sit where you want. And the front row was empty. So we sat right in the front. And it was fabulous, absolutely amazing. So we had 1.5 hours just discovering. It was a chat from Angela Hartner, like from her heart. It was amazing. And then afterwards, she signed me a book. Well, her book that I just bought, and had a picture, and then started chatting with Ismail. Realised I had one of his bags, but I actually got the bag. We went to the restaurant that was shutting on the last day, and they gave everyone one of their beautiful bags, and they really are beautiful. And it's brilliant for shopping, so it's always with me. And then we were having a chat with some pictures, and then we came home. So I flew to London and back last night, but I needed more gin. I tried to get parked by the place in Fitzrovia, and I couldn't get a parking space that close that we could still make it. So I may be driving back down there today to restock with gin and stuff. But let's face it, for knitting, we need gin, don't we? So anyway, there's my little story of where I was yesterday. And it was absolutely fabulous. And everyone goes on about driving in London. Now, I love driving around London. I did get beat by a cyclist who told me I was driving down a one-way street the wrong way. I don't know why it had arrows for me to go straight forward. I don't know. I went forward, and apparently I wasn't supposed to be. So he just said, "Oh, just do a U-turn." So I may have, I may get a ticket for that. I have no idea. But I do love driving around London. So anyway, we had a lovely, lovely, lovely experience last night, and it was just so nice. And I don't know if anyone else has been to events at the British Library, but they are just so lovely. And when you look at the price, like my mum, she's, she has a blue badge. Her ticket was only £8. Mine was 16. But for an hour and a half, it was incredible. And I looked and I thought, oh no, I've missed the whole of the food talks that have been going on. And they had some amazing subjects like food quality in prisons. And then they had earlier on, it was just an incredible series. Last night's was the end, so I've missed the whole of that food series. But it made me think, do you know what? I jump on a train, get into London, at Euston, I come out, the British Library is just there. And it is just so lovely. So I'm going to look at a few other things as well over the summer. And if you can't get there, they do tickets so that you can view online and watch online. So I thought it was great, absolutely great, and I loved it. So didn't take my knitting. I left it in the car, but normally I take my knitting. So I had a lovely time, and I hope that you've had something that you've loved this week, whether that's been picking up a ball of amazing wool, or whether you've baked yourself something, or whether you've seen a friend or had a phone call with a friend, or just had some lovely you time. Whatever, I just hope you've had a fabulous week. So I think that's been the highlight of my week so far, other than talking to you today. So that was really, really good. And I thought, we'll go down. I'll take my mum down, and we just need to work out driving around central London and whether lunch or dinner is best. On a Saturday, it doesn't matter. We can do anything, but I do have to drive my mum to wherever we're going. So we can't do trains, can't do buses, because people say, train's okay, but trying to walk down a whole platform is a long way. So walking down the platform to the front of Euston would have been twice as long as it was for my mum to walk from the car to the British Library. So that's why I drive everywhere, and that's why she's got that badge, so that she can go out, because if not, she just can't drive walk that far. Well, sometimes she can, but Most of the time it's a real struggle. So we had a lovely, 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 lovely time. So anyway, let's catch up on chat. And then we'll go on to some music. So Grace says, good morning. That was the one thing I was worried about. Got in there last night. I thought, oh my word, I've forgotten to bring cough sweets. Because when you just keep getting a tickle. I've had this for weeks now. Thankfully, I didn't get the cough. So Georgie says, good morning, kisses. Brigitte says, good morning, pizza. It's 340 today. Isn't that amazing? 340 shows, 340 hours and more. Safi says, good morning. Judy says, morning all. Been a bit of a stranger, I know, but life takes over. Judy, don't worry. We're here. Well, we're here until the 15th of June. There's always going to be all those replays on YouTube that you can look at again. And let's face it, half of the laughs and inspiration, jokes and things like that, we'll always talk through. So no, you've not been a stranger. This is what is happening. Life is now moving on. So that's what we're doing. So let's have a look. Judy says, good to see you. Sorry, Brigitte says, Judy, good to see you. Judy says, Brigitte, yes, good to see you too. Safi says, sounds like a super even. It really was. When you just think, shall I, shan't it? Just go. I thought, I've missed this sort of stuff so much. And I know in that little place, Honey and Cat, they used to do the food talks there. It's really intimate, really, really intimate. So it's just, do you know what? I can't wait to start doing more of this. And as we come out of this whole lockdown, it's about our lives. What did we really enjoy in our lives before? And I've realised, I just love going out and doing things like that. Like if there's a talk at a museum or a library, it's just, I love that. And just having a coffee somewhere. So it was great, absolutely great. Linda P says, morning all. Safi says, week that sounds a bit scary. What does? Sorry, let me know. Georgie says, Angela, your evening sounds wonderful. And Emma says, good morning, everyone from Princess Curtain Crusher. Good morning. And Sludge is somewhere as well saying hello back. And I know Teddy's there saying hello back and any other that we've got. So anyway, we're now going to have some music, as usual, our interlude. And today's music is especially for Brigitte. So I believe, Brigitte, you have chosen this piece of music. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And if you see me on the phone, that's because I forgot to ring somebody before, so I'm just going to ring them as well. All right. So enjoy this piece of music that has been cued by Robert. So Brigitte, we know how much you appreciate that guy, his music and everything. So I hope you really enjoyed that. And I hope, sorry, everybody else did too. Certainly amazing. That was Jerry Hall at the end, wasn't it? Was it Jerry Hall? And if it was, I then thought, was she in a few different music videos back in the day? Yes. So anyway, I'm sure that you absolutely loved that one. And Linda says, good choice. Brigitte says, isn't he a dish? Absolutely. Fabulous guy. And Georgie says, love that song. And do you realise that before Gogglefrogs, I don't think Robert knew who he was. Because when I mentioned Jealous Guy one day, he went, what? I went, oh my word. And it is so strange, isn't it? If you're not in that music era, or even that style of music, you just don't hear this stuff. So anyway, yes. So Brigitte, just for you. And she says, yes, it was Jerry Hall. I always wished I could have, it could have been me instead. Do you know what? I am sure that Brian Ferry wished it was you and not Jerry Hall at his side. I think we all agree with that, don't we? So yeah, Safi says, fab choice. And Jerry Hall was everywhere back then. Yeah, I just suddenly realised, I didn't realise that was her in that video. And she was in loads. Was she in, oh, was she an up-down girl? I don't know. But yeah, she was all over then. And Linda says, wasn't Jerry his girlfriend before Nick nicked her off him? I didn't know that. Brigitte says, I don't think so, somehow, lol. I think that was about, no, Brian Ferry did wish you were at his side, honestly. So anyway, I'm sure that you enjoyed that as much as, no, I'm sure Brigitte enjoyed that the most out of everyone because it was her for her. But I'm sure we all enjoyed it almost as much as she did. And I just want to go back to Georgie saying that Ted, her little dog, is sulking as the boys, her son and her husband, have gone out for the day. They left at 6 o'clock this morning, and Ted loves the whole family together. In fact, Ted loves the two boys at home. And if they're not at home, he's like, where are they? Why aren't I with them? So Georgie's got a sulking dog. And Safi says that she was saying about the driving the wrong way down a one-way street. It's just like every time I come back from lunch, it's like, oh no. But I just think, hey, it's just one of these things. I do love driving. Like, I'm the one who, I relish driving on the wrong side of the road. Legally, when I'm in a different country, may I add, not in this country. Yeah, so I just love driving. When we went to Provence, yeah, we went to Provence, me, my husband, the in-laws, his brother, our sister-in-law, and our niece. They all flew. Oh, and my mum and dad as well. Forgotten about them. And I said I'm going to drive because the whole experience about going on a plane has changed so much. I remember when I started flying when I was about 8 years old, you would arrive at the airport, there would be an orderly queue where you would queue up, deposit your bag. You would then move through in an orderly queue, and you would sit in, everybody had a seat once you got through. The food wasn't great, but you didn't worry about that. You got on your plane, and it was a very organised experience. Then things changed as mass travel happened, and it's like queuing up for a bus, as far as I'm concerned. I just hate the whole experience of, it's not the flying. I'm not scared of flying. I love flying, but the whole experience of people arguing, people in strange attire that I look and I think, oh my word, you know. There was a time when you used to actually dress quite well to fly. You don't have your scrubs on. And like sometimes when, I am going to say this right out loud, I'm going to offend so many people, or not people here, but when you turn up for your flight and you're sort of flying for your job, or you know, you've got maybe a pair of jeans, a shirt on, you know, it's something comfy, but you know, you look respectable just in case. And they're always used to that thing as well, that certain people will get upgraded, so you always used to dress okay. And then you sit down and somebody will arrive with some little like football shorts and a vest on. And you sit there and think, I've got to sit next to you the whole thing, and my arm could touch your. It's just, I have this real issue. So that's why I don't fly unless I have to. And I'm very, very careful about, I pay to fly. Now, anyway, we went to Provence. So I thought, I can drive that far, so we'll drive. Anyway, everyone said, why are you doing that? You know, it's a couple of hours. I said, no. So it took us 2.5 days to drive there. I absolutely loved it. But honestly, we were going all over the place. So I had 2 beautiful stops on the way. So one stop was up a mountain, and it was this farm, and we'd hired this gîte apartment thing. a beautiful place. We then we said, where do we go for dinner? And we couldn't understand them. They couldn't understand us. So anyway, they told us to get to this restaurant, you had to go, there was like a canal, and the road went underneath the canal and up the other end and then around. Well, was it? No, it wasn't a canal. It was a river scene. So then we're tootling along, and we arrived at this restaurant that was right on the side of the river scene. It was out of this world, but there is no way you'd have thought a restaurant was going under this little dip in the road. You actually thought it was like for sheep to go under or something. So that was amazing. And then we stayed somewhere else, middle of nowhere. Again, I stopped as I thought was in the right place. And somebody got up who was having a barbecue saying, are you wanting to stay at such and such? It's down the road. And gate crashed. Just pulled up on this drive, waving like this. And I wasn't even at the B&B that we're staying at. But the place that we stayed was what is it, a retreat place. So they had lovely, everything was organic, and yeah, so that was nice. Then on the way back, we spent a couple of nights in Dijon. It was incredible. I do think that driving a little bit off the beaten track is amazing. And that was the time when we stopped for you know, when you stop and you think, okay, the only thing at this place is McDonald's. All we want is coffee and just comfort break. And we stopped, and it was McCafe. I thought, okay. We sat down, and they actually served brownies and cheesecakes and coffees in proper cups, saucers, plates. It was incredible. And it was the fact that for the French palate, shall we say, they were not used to paper cups or anything. So to get like that element off the ground, they had to do something different. It was amazing. I think they've changed it now. But at the time, it was really, really lovely. So we sat down and we had proper coffees, you know, with proper crema on top. So we loved that. So anyway, that's a little bit about the travels. And yeah, I have said it, I can't stand flying. It's just the whole experience of who you have to sit next to. So Brigitte says, if I never see the inside of an airport and a plane again, it will be too soon. I absolutely agree. Do you know what? I didn't pay business class, but when I paid to go to Thailand and they had the upstairs planes, I just got a regular flight, but I paid more money for it, which meant when you need to change things, you can change them for free rather than pay. That's a little tip, actually. If ever you fly, book direct with the airline, and on some of them, like Thai Airways, you'll have like 4 or 5 different prices. Never buy the cheapest, because that's non-refundable, non-transferable. And I wanted to spend an extra day, just to have a day on the beach, and I rang them up and said, "Oh, let me check." Yeah, you can change it. So that's a little tip if ever you book it direct. But yeah, I'm sat upstairs and I'm thinking, this is a nice plane. Oh my word! There was. I don't know whether it was an RAF or Army or what, a whole football tour on there. They were going out to play football in Thailand with somebody. And these people were jumping up and down and doing all of the songs, and it was absolute hell. And I just said, excuse me, can I move? And they said, oh, you know, I said, I'm not asking to move to business class. I just want to move out of this environment. So I said, yeah. And I went and sat downstairs, got a whole 4 chairs to myself. It was fabulous. That was just, and that is what I absolutely hate, being so close to people who don't know how to behave, don't know how to act, because I prefer quiet. So I'm totally with you. It's just, back in the day, air travel it was like going on a beautiful rail journey, you know, even train journeys now. Good God. I remember what it was like. We used to go on holiday. There was something called Golden Rail, which was British Rail, but you could do your holidays on there. And it was always a lovely experience. Whereas now, I don't think it is. Even if you get on first class, it's not. So anyway, yeah, I'm with you, Brigitte. Robert says, morning all. Good morning, Robert. Lovely to see you. How is today going? And Brigitte says, if I can go the scenic route, I do that. Might take a bit longer sometimes, but so much nicer. Yeah, that's so true. And I know even with Belgium, a number of times that me and my friend used to miss. We used to go over, we'd be sat on the overlooking the beach. I'd have a gin and tonic. He'd have coffee, and we'd just look at the beach. And sometimes we'd say, we're going to miss our channel back. And she's like, never mind, shall we have another? And we always used to blame it on the traffic. We always got put on the next available one. It didn't matter, but it's just about sometimes there is so much beauty out there. You just have to admire it. And just looking at sunset, sea, horizon, ferries going across as they're going up to past Belgium, up to the Scandies, etc. It's just incredible. And just think, why should I go home now? So yeah. And yeah, so everybody's saying hello to Robert. Hello, Robert. So I said I had some little treaties, didn't I? And I know I've shown this before, but I picked this up, and do you know what? It's so strange, Robert. I always go into the me and Robert were together, and we actually mentioned this. And I went in and I thought, oh, let me just pick another pattern. And it was this one, the Yarn Tellier one. And it's this beautiful one. Let me show you the back, actually, because we forget about patterns, don't we, that we buy. So it's beautiful, but she has, this is by, it's in cashmere lace, and it's beaded cashmere lace, Yarn Tellier, and that's Zafine. Zavini. That's by Louisa Harding. I'm not going to show you the pattern inside. However, you'll see that around those heart shapes, there's these beautiful beads that she sews on. And her yarn, the Yarn Tellier, I can say I thought, that's a bit, when you're looking at things, and this is quite a lot of years ago, like not now. Now I understand about yarns, and you pay what you get. You get what you pay for, sorry. But I thought, £25 a ball, that's quite a lot. I need 2 balls for a little hat. But I have to say, when I put that beret on, it's about this colour as well. I put that beret on, it's warmer. It really is warmer. Sorry, helicopter going over. It's warmer than the thickest wool hat. And we don't realise that often some of those beautiful fine fibres, I know they cost a lot of money, but these are investment pieces. And this is one that I will do post goggles when I've got enough time. But she is so lovely, Louisa Harding. If you ever go to a show, she will spend so much time with you, and she actually showed us how she threads beads on. And both of us said yesterday, can you remember how she taught us? And I said, no, I can't remember. So we're probably going to have to reach out to her and ask her. But it is just incredible. And that is such a beautiful pattern. I thought Louisa Harding, she always needs a little reminder, doesn't she, to us all as to how amazing her patterns are. And she's the one who always says, the reason why people don't wear items is because they make them too wide. And wool, cardigans, jumpers, etc. are supposed to stretch. So don't make them too big. And I make that mistake all the time. I make them too big for me. I think, make it a bit big so it's comfortable. And then I don't enjoy wearing it, and I end up frogging it. So that was that. And then what else did I have? I saw this one. This is just a little old-fashioned cute type thing. And there's 2 little things. Knits and Pieces. I think I bought this in Bridlington. I don't know how many years ago it was, from a shop out there. But it's a good old-fashioned traditional one, where you still have that the ruler that we always need. And modern or more expensive patterns, I always think, never have the rulers on them, do they? What else do we have? Not going to show that one. Not going to show that one. And here's some that I do talk about this company quite a lot. And I know they're gone now, but they did Baramu. Amazing. They had beautiful wool that I really, really loved using. But then they had they worked alongside, this is all Alison. They are all Alison Morton. So that I just think is lovely, and named after York Minster by Alison Morton. And so that's a lovely, lovely it's a scarf, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And they use just listen, right, these are the names of the yarns that they had. You used to have, it was like pip colour work, little balls for colour work, and then you buy the main stuff in one of their other yarns. But these are some of them. So it says main colour is coal, and they were very northern. Then colour one is rhubarb. Yorkshire is rhubarb country, isn't it? And then Chevin, well, you have Otley Chevin, Lotherton Hall, Parkin, which is every northerner, every grandparent from Yorkshire used to make Parkin. It's just lovely. And there was Airedale, I believe, and I think it was Doncaster as well. All these different colours that were very Yorkshire. And here is, it must be a top down. But I love that. And I'm going to put that quite close. Can you see around? Hang on a minute. Can I show you? Around here? There, it's showing better. Around there, there's just that inlet, that colourway. And this is Ribble Head. And if you don't know Ribble Head, and I am going to turn this around and show you, that's Ribble Head. And I think every Yorkshire child went on an outward bound thing through school to Ribble Head. I know that we did it. So when I went and saw this, it was, oh my word, I totally remember going to Ribble Head. And it was so strange. We were on this school away day. And we had to walk from wherever we were, this big, I don't know, it's not a YMCA, is it? But a big thing like that, where you're staying as a school party. And we walked all the way to the pub. So when you're 13, you expect that you're going to sit down when you get to the pub and be given a lemonade and a packet of crisps, don't you? Because that's what happens to children when you get to the pub. And then we got to the pub. The two teachers that had walked us there went to the pub, and the two teachers that had been in the pub left and walked us all the way back. So we walked there and back, and you just think, we haven't had a lemonade. So I wasn't very happy. And this is Pond Street, which is lovely again, isn't it? I think you can get some of these on eBay, and that's a beautiful wrap scarf as well. And just the colours are lovely. And let's see what colours they used in this one. And in this one, the main colour is Endeavour. Don't know why it's called Endeavour. And then Rhubarb and Lotherton again. So that's Rhubarb, that's Lotherton, which is like a beautiful blue, which is my mum's favourite blue. So those were what I thought I'd share with you. Now, I don't think we've got much in Facebook. I'm going to have a quick look in Facebook just in case I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, couldn't I? Let's have a quick. Let's have a quick look. Hang on a minute. If there isn't much in there, then we can wait until. Oh, we've got one in there. Oh, let's just show this one because it is very pretty. I think we've only got one in there. So let me show you. Right, so here we go. So we've shown Brigitte's stitching something for a C person. She's done an egg person. I would just gift it anyway and have a chuckle. And Georgie has shared this. That is so lovely, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. So I absolutely love that one. Thank you for sharing. Not sure where it is. Southwold. I don't know where Southwold is. You will. I don't. That's Marion's cardigan again, which everyone loves. And we've seen Tracy's. We saw that as well, Brigitte. So that was amazing. Oh, and Marion says she's finally got an appointment, a cancellation for an ultrasound on her arm, so that hopefully she can have shockwave treatment. We will keep our fingers crossed, and I think we've shown everything else. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to have a look. I wanted to share another pattern with you, and this is because I love how these look, and I've been looking for quite a bit, thinking I need to discover how to do this. And when you look at it's not brioche, but it gives a very, very unusual design. Anyway, I found this morning on Ravelry, so I'm going to show you this. Let me get the right tab, because you know me, I have about 1,000 things up at a time. Right, let's have a look. So can you see this? This is a shawl, and it's what I call their creased shawls. So they look creased. And I'm just going to increase that. The colour, the pictures are not great for this shawl. But I looked at it and I thought, do you know what? I sort of love the way how it looks. And here you can see that as it sweeps around, it's like a pleated skirt. And I know that we've all, years and years ago, was it in the 70s that twin sets, like a waistcoat with a tie front and a pleated knitted skirt, were very, very en vogue, weren't they? And I know my mum wore them and stuff like that. So I know that you can knit with this stuff, but I wasn't quite sure how to. And then it was it one of these pictures? I thought, this is another one. It's all going in different ways, but there's one picture, not so much that one. Where is it? I did see a picture where it sort of made it a little bit more detailed. Maybe I can't see it. Let me have another look. Won't be a second. Right, so maybe you can see there, it's actually made by having knits, pearls, and some form of, I don't know if it's a double pearl, but when the effect from afar is absolutely incredible, especially if you had a really silky, great stitch definition yarn. It's great on a thicker yarn as well, because you're going to be able to see it a little bit more. But I just thought this was lovely. And I'm not too sure about this lady. I've never seen her before, and I'm just trying to find some of the pictures. Like, I think there on the back you can see that it is the odd pearl and lots of knits. I don't know what the inverted part of that is, but I just thought, wow, I love that. So that is going into my I'm going to buy it. Let's have a quick look at some of her other stuff, shall we? She looks to have, wow, she looks to have some really detailed stuff, doesn't she? And now that is incredible. That's got a beautiful full. That's just not a big picot edge. That is a stunning edge. So is that one. This lady obviously knows how to make amazing ones. Oh, what are these 5 bundles? Oh, I think that's that you can buy all 5 together. Lace mittens. Oh, wow. See, this is what happens. But I did love the other one I showed you a minute ago. Why isn't it on there? Let's have a quick look again. Is it a different Anima Knits? Yes, it is hers. Oh, she's got 43 patterns. So let's have a quick look, shall we? Wow. Have you seen that one? Incredible. So I hope you're liking this as much as I am. I'm looking at these thinking, wow. And all of these are on Ravelry, so you can pop on and buy them. Like even that one, can you see that one there? Just seeing those colour changes. A picot edge, then a colour change with a fancy hull, a few yarn overs or whatever you want to do, and then changing those colours. And when you actually see somebody else doing it, you think, why don't we change our colours more? Because that, I think, is amazing. I just love those colour changes. Oh, look at this one as well. Wow. That is, I love that one. And again, that tiny little bit in the middle, so that's purple around the outside, and then you've got a tiny little bit of mustard in the middle, makes it pop. And then if you change to the mustard, you just have a little bit of a purple pop. And isn't it strange that 2/3 of that are the mustardy colour, but you actually think it's purple? Just how the it's that thing that say whatever it is edged in, that is the most dominant colour. And that is such a good classic example of why that works. So I absolutely love that one. So this is Christina Villimeta. Is that right? And again with this one, exactly the same. There is more beige in that, or brown, than there is that yellowy green. But it looks yellowy green, doesn't it? Whatever's on the outside makes it more dominant. So I think that this is a design I've never seen it before. Whenever you jump onto Ravelry, they will have a featured on the front page. They'll have a featured person. And if you just click on that, sometimes I'm not inspired. Like there's somebody else I clicked on earlier. I think it was this one I liked. Then I clicked on a few minutes later, and they changed the featured people. I didn't get the same inspiration from them, but I will certainly have a look at that later. So this is Anima Knits, and that's her Ravelry store. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at those. They look really nice. Right, here we go. Back again. So let's go back. So Robert said, Robert said morning. And then said, have a good weekend, everyone. And people saying that back to Robert. And Safi says she uses a crochet hook to add beads. Yeah, I think that's what Louisa did. Hers was just a really simple way. You probably do the same way as Louisa. It was really good. Emma says, agree with Angela, air travel. I just hate it. Do you know what? I quite like the journey. And it's strange that I used to work with somebody years and years and years ago. She just didn't like flying at all. So, but she loved America. So she would get she would do a cruise to America, just spend a few days in America, and then she'd come back. But her husband liked flying. It's quite amusing. But yeah, I just don't like the fact that everybody is. I think you should still be able to pay. And I think you can, to a certain extent, with business class. But you still have to queue up sort of in the same environment with everybody. And I know you turn left instead of turning right. And I know there's lounges and stuff like that. but it's just not what it used to be years and years and years ago. Judy says, skipping rhyme. 3 dogs barking for a bit of parking. Oh, right. Okay. I've never heard of that one. The skipping rhyme. 3 dogs barking for a bit of parking. I don't know. I just know that my nan used to make parking and everyone seems to love it. I just can't make a gluten-free equivalent. Well, I can, but it's just not the same. So I have to perfect it at some point. Safi says the latest edition of Slipknot has just arrived. Brilliant. Georgie says Southwold is in Suffolk near Aldborough. Thank you very much. And Safi says it looks stunning. I think that was the what is it? The patterns. So there's a little bit of inspiration for you today. Whenever I'm on my own, I always think, do you know what? Let's just have a look at some patterns that I've got. Some patterns that are in the garage, and then I'll just have a look at something that's on the system. But I think there's a few designers that I think over the last couple of years I've really, really been inspired by. I'll probably need to go back and watch all of the shows to try and find out. But I think I've either saved a lot or bought a lot. I just have no time to make them because there's always a pattern to follow. And this is not the environment for following a pattern, is it? But yeah, I do love collecting patterns. I love books as well. It's one of those loves that I have. There's nothing better than having a piece of paper in my hand. Oh, funny thing was the other day, I bought a book, and it was a second-hand book. And I thought, there's not many of these about, and I can't find it for sale. So anyway, I bought it through the second-hand book companies, through Amazon, that they say, and I always do that because I think I'd rather recycle books that are already in print. But if it's something like last night, the book I got from Angela Hartnett, it's only come out this week, and I wanted her to sign it, so I bought it there, and yeah, really, really good. So anyway, it came through, and I looked at the outside, oh, this is wonderful. But when I opened it, it's the same as what I've got. So I think sometimes people launch books, but then they have to change like the title of it or the outer pictures, which is what they did. So I now have 2 copies of the same book. However, as I go through cookery books, I convert them. So what I do on the page is I will cross out what it is and what I've actually used. And I'm constantly adapting the amount. So, and I start to go side left. So if I change the butter and up that, then it might work. And I think, yeah, that's the right amount of butter now, but something else is wrong. So I keep on going. So I now have one version that is unedited by me and one version that is my editing version. So I thought it was quite amusing. I'll see how it goes. But yeah, I may keep both of them, or I may give one away. I will say I may give one away as the other one as a gift. But I did that. I've done that so many times that I end up with 2 patterns because I think, oh, I really love that. I'm sure I've seen that before, and I think I've seen it on Ravelry. And actually, it's in my collection at home. So I do have more than one pattern, more than one pattern book, more than one cookery book. So does anyone else do that? Or is it just me? Oh, anyway, I'm just going to show you this so you can see. It does roll. You have to block it properly afterwards. But this is how it's looking. So you'll see around the edge, that is the that twist and shout cast on, which is part of the retreat. The pattern will come out after that, and a little video to show you. So we've got that lovely cast on, and then getting a matching cast off is always hard, isn't it? And somebody said to me, oh, can't you do the same for the cast off? And I went, no, casting on is totally different to casting off. You could do another cast on and then graft it, but that would be like, we just want something that we can knit, don't we? It was really weird. I thought, no, you can't do that. It's so anyway, this is it. And I will have some purple coming soon, but this is a really lovely light. Whilst it is, it does knit up as a what is it? What do you call it? Fair Isle. It's lovely and it's light colours and it's very, what I would say, summer, springtime, and we still wear things. I mean, I've got this morning, I've got a summer dress on, looking outside thinking it was beautiful at like 9 o'clock this morning, but it's looking a bit grey now. So there are times where, especially later in the day, sometimes we just need something around our neck, on our head, a little shawl, just something. So I do love using this yarn. It is lovely. And it is so easy when you just need a TV project, but at the end of it, you want it to look a little bit different. I know so many of you are so creative. You really are. And you're great with your lace work and your different colours. And it's quite incredible, actually. But it's lovely. I've just seen the time. It's 4 minutes to 11. And actually, just before we go, I'll show you this. Robert got me that little present, gin toe, and it is a gin cocktail to taste like Vimto. So I'm going to have that one day with my mum, and we're going to have that over some ice. And I just thought I'd show you that. I've got that out earlier, so sorry I didn't share it. I'll share it again on Wednesday as well. Oh, Amber says, try YouTube for cast off. Yes, it took me about 2 weeks. I eventually found a rather bizarre, well, you know, when there's YouTube videos that hardly anyone's ever watched and hardly anyone's ever seen. And I saw it and I thought, right, okay, I can adapt that because I don't want it to look like that. And it worked. It was the hardest cast off to try and track down. It really was. But thank you, Amber. Yeah, I did. So Brigitte says, Angela, she's got more patterns and kits than I have life to do them. We are the same. We are absolutely all the same there. Brigitte says her copy's just dropped on her mat as well, so that's brilliant. You've got something to read. And Brigitte says, thank you for a fab hour. Now on to a dull looking Saturday. Have a good weekend. Yeah, but my washing's out. I was going to jump in the car and drive to London and back. We'll see if I do this afternoon or if I leave it to one day during the week. I might have a quieter day today. We'll see. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend planned. Not too sure what you're up to. So tell us on Wednesday what you've been up to. And so next weekend it's a bit of an amazing time, isn't it? So we've got some, I hope you have some brilliant plans, and if they are, just staying in, just doing a little bit of knitting, watching a film that you've always wanted to listen to, or listening to a piece of music that you've always wanted to. In the UK, we've got 2 bank holidays, Thursday and Friday, because of the Jubilee. So it's going to be amazing. Just having that extra time, and I think the whole world will be tuning in. But it always means that we can sit there and knit and watch and enjoy, doesn't it? And with that, we're almost at 11. So I am going to say have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Do lots of crafting, knitting, enjoy yourself, lots of time for you, because it's what makes us happy. And I will see you with Robert on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. So you take care. Lots of love, every Gogglefrogger out there, and we will see you on Wednesday evening. Take care. Bye.